Hey everybody, it's GW. I'm going to do a quick little video podcast here as I sit there with my YouTube channel. Hope you guys are enjoying these that I put out there. Please subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you need to do down at the bottom. But let me know what you think about these. I made some New Year's resolutions, and one of them is to try to be a little more um, interesting, I guess, or maybe controversial might be a word, or maybe it might be just, stop worrying about whether or not people are going to accept what I say or not accept what I say, and just put it out there. But there's a thing that went in the news yesterday that really concerns me, and I really, this you have to know something about my background, I guess, if you really want to know why it concerns me. But I was a career intelligence officer in the U.S. Army, and after that, I worked with a defense contractor, supporting most of the three-letter agencies in the D.C. area, and at one time or another. And I take a look at what's going on with the new administration that is putting itself together. And there's articles in the news yesterday concerning the National Security Council. And now let's talk about the National Security Council a minute. It has a role that came with the National Security Act of 1947. Now, it's the same act that did a whole lot of things, but it gave a purpose for the National Security Council. And that purpose is to advise and assist the president. It's the principal forum for national security and foreign policy to provide advice and assistance to the president to be able to guide the president, to be able to advise the president, to be able to let him know what's going on. These are things that you don't just walk into an office and sit down on Monday morning and go, give me some files and I'll go brief the president this afternoon. It doesn't work that way. These are things that when you have the council, there has to be experienced people that are in there. Now, I understand that politically speaking, that you're going to have people that the president wants to have in there to be the leader, and that there's going to be many things that when you present it to the president, it's going to be colored with the attitude that the president has. It's the same for every president there's ever been. So you take a look at the Security Council, and you got the VP, you got the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Treasury, the SecDef, the Secretary of Energy, you got the Attorney General, you got Homeland Security, you got the UN folks in there, you got the Joint Chiefs in there, you've got the Director of National Intelligence in there. You have senior folks that are in there. And depending on what their level of expertise is on the thing. Okay, so you have all of their staffs. Now, you also have staff members. I don't know how many, but you have staff members that are basically on loan from all these agencies. Now, the reason why they're on loan is because they have knowledge, usually firsthand knowledge of what's going on around the world and what needs to be a way for the national security and the political safety of the United States. This is a really important area. So the word came out yesterday that the person that the president has put in place and has to go through the approval process. But Mike Waltz, who is a representative from the state of Florida, has been put forward as the next head of the National Security Council. Now, he has said out loud that he wants to get rid of all non-political appointees. Now, and he wants to get rid of any career intel officials. Those are the exact people who provide the basis for the information that has to be presented to the president. Those are the people that have probably decades of experience working in these fields, in their specialty in the fields. The people that are brought in from the other agencies. Now, when he says, "Oh no, go away," well, they'll go back to their own agencies. They probably won't get fired. They're not going to be on the street. But it's going to gut the National Security Council. It's going to absolutely diminish the effectiveness of the council in being able to present a valid assessment, a valid plan for what needs to be the United States position as we go forward. It deprives that institutional knowledge. There's another thing that has also just been said is that in addition to them to get rid of all the non-political appointees and career intel officials, they're going around to everyone. And when I say everyone, I'm assuming that means everyone. I mean, from the lowest admin person up to the guy who's the branch chief, division chief, who is in there with the National Security Advisor one-on-one, and sitting there with them, and they are talking about loyalty questions and whether or not you're loyal, not to the United States, which there's no question that everyone in there is absolutely loyal to the United States of America. But are you loyal to the administrative ideas that the new administration is putting forward? Are you loyal to that? Did you vote for President-elect Trump? Did you give any contributions to a candidate? And if so, who and why? These are things that are not pertinent to doing the job that these people are hired and are in place to do. This is possibly the scariest activity that I have heard of. And to be able to just not say anything about it is just not right. Now, I'm sure that there are people out there who will tell me that I don't understand the context that this was presented in, that there's really no intent to do anything more than what's been done in the past by other presidents. And I'm not naive enough to think that other presidents haven't gone in and tried to make it so that this was a body that would work with them and not against them. But the purpose of the National Security Council, that advice and assistance on the national security and foreign policy, the purpose of that council to do that, if you have to agree with what the president thinks is the right idea, then you're not giving advice and assistance. You're just being a sycophant and a yes man. I really don't have anything else to say on the topic. I have a feeling that this is just the beginning of things that are going to go on. I truly hope that this country is able to survive the next few years. I truly hope that the manner in which the administration takes over is much more searching for words, much more aware of what the real purpose, what the real role of the United States is in the world today, and how we can positively influence other parts of the world and not just react as it appears that we're doing here to make sure that one person is always happy with what is said. Anyway, I'm going to be giving more of these. They won't all be political. I don't think I could survive if they were all going to be political. So you can look forward to hearing about how my yard is looking here in the spring. But right now, we're about a week away from the inauguration, and it's going to be an interesting week or two, or months, or year. Thanks a lot. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them. Happy to hear them. Thanks a lot. This is GW signing off.